Hi, I'm Stephen Mohr, Vice President of Sales for Virtual Queue. In this video, we're going to talk about virtual desktops. So if you're not familiar with the concept of virtual desktops, or you're not clear about the business value, that's what we're going to address in this video. Virtual Queue has been doing virtual desktops since our founding in 2009. And since then, we've continued to work to optimize and enhance the user experience. Virtual Queue uses virtual desktops to run our own business. And one of the things we've learned in trying to explain virtual desktops to prospects is there's no better approach than to show them. So that's what we're going to do in this video. I'm going to show you how we use virtual desktops to run our own business. I'm going to talk to you about the business value that's available to your business. So let's get started. So as you can see, I have a standard Mac laptop. I was just reviewing a webinar we recently uploaded to YouTube, What Every Business Owner Must Know About the Cloud. It attempts to explain the cloud or cloud computing in plain English from a business perspective. So if that sounds interesting, be sure to check that out. But as I mentioned, we run our business on Windows. So let me show you how we do that. I'm going to open up an application, Microsoft Remote Desktop. This is a free application available from Microsoft. It's available on multiple platforms, including Mac, multiple Windows versions, iOS, as well as Android. So I'm going to select the virtual desktop I want to open. It connects and logs me in. And as you can see, the last thing I was doing was actually editing that presentation. So one of the values of a virtual desktop is it's always up, it's always available. So when you log in, you're logging in to your last keystroke. Show you that. Last thing I was doing in terms of Excel, so I was editing a proposal for a user. In Word, I was updating a non-disclosure agreement. So like you and pretty much everybody today, you're working on multiple things at one time, so there's nothing unusual about that. But what you're looking at is basically a Windows 10 desktop. From a user experience, as you see, as I move the cursor over items, it works just like it would on your local PC or on your local laptop. Things that you expect to highlight. There is no lag whatsoever in terms of type ahead. Let me show you that. Open up a new Word document, and I'm not that great typist, so it's kind of hard to show you, but if I just hold down the X key, you see there's no hesitation, there's no drag from type ahead. So our goal is to give you a user experience that is as good or better than you get from a local desktop. So let me show you something else here. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to run a speed test. Let's refresh the screen. And it's searching for the closest server and begin test. As you can see, getting extraordinary performance. So we'll explain that a little bit later in the presentation. But if we go back to my desktop and we run a speed test here, you see I'm getting about 16 megs down on my local desktop. On my virtual desktop, which is where I work, I'm actually getting almost 740 megs. So I wanted to give you a demo like this so you could see it is actually a Mac that I'm running on. So there's no trickery involved. I'm actually running Windows applications on a Mac, uh, Windows 10 in this case. Um, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and use a screen capture tool to show you a little clearer picture of what it looks like. So, right back. One of the advantages of a virtual desktop is the ability to access it from any device and any internet connection. So imagine, if you will, I'm out in the field. Only device I have is my iPad and my iPhone, and I'm going to demonstrate using my iPad and accessing my iPhone as a hotspot using the cellular connection. So as you can see, my iPhone is serving for the as an internet connection over its cellular network, and I've intentionally positioned my iPhone to get as poor a connection as possible. So let me show you what that looks like. So we're running a speed test on the cellular connection, and you can see I'm getting consistently less than 5 megs. So the intent of this is to demonstrate you don't need a lot of bandwidth and a perfect connection to be able to access the virtual desktop. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to launch Remote Desktop. Again, this is the free application available from Microsoft. And it connected me to my virtual desktop. Now in this case, it's a Windows 7 desktop. So this should look familiar to you. It's just like any other Windows 7 desktop. Got my applications, and as you can see, it takes me back to my last keystroke. So I was last editing this document in Word. I was last updating this spreadsheet in Excel, and I was last editing this PowerPoint. And as you can see, my documents are all right here. I can do the usual things. I can rename them, I can send them, I can pull up a keyboard to type in a new name, but I'm not going to do that. And let's go ahead and run a speed test from the virtual desktop. If you recall, we were getting less than 5 megs on the iPad, but in the virtual desktop, where I'm working, I am not dependent on that cellular connection for internet. So let's go ahead and start speed test. As you can see, I'm getting 100 plus megs in the virtual desktop where I'm actually doing all my work. So again, let's go to the desktop and let's look at this. So this is what my actual virtual desktop looks like. As you can see, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 cores available. I've got 16 megs of memory. So even though I'm using an iPad for access, I'm using a cellular connection to access it, I've got in my virtual desktop the power of an 8-core machine with 16 megs of memory and an extremely high performance internet connection. So hopefully that demonstrates the power of being able to access all your data, all your usual applications from any device, from any location. This could just as easily be an iPhone or an Android phone or an Android tablet. As a matter of fact, let me show you that if I happen to be editing a document from my iPhone, I can use the pinch and stretch to zoom to get into whatever level of detail I want to see. So that's particularly useful if you're using a smaller device like a mobile phone as opposed to an iPad. But with an iPad, you have, particularly if you have a folio cover with a built-in keyboard, you can do full function desktop work from an iPad.
One of the key benefits of virtual desktops is they enable mobility. What that means is being able to work as if you're in the office with access to the same applications and the same data, regardless of where you're located or what device you have available. You could literally be lying on the beach in Cancun, or more likely, working from a hotel room on a business trip, or working from home at night on the weekend. But beyond mobility, what virtual desktops enable is an extraordinary level of business agility. Now, what do I mean by that? Think about the implications to your business if your employees can be located anywhere and work from anywhere. It enables you to rethink what it even means to have an office. It enables you to reconsider geographies. As an example, you could grow your business into a new city simply by hiring an employee there. That employee, as long as they have access to an internet connection, will have access to the same data, the same applications as the employees in your main office. Another thing that virtual desktops enable is work from home. Now, this could be a short-term strategy as your business grows, or as a particular geography is established, or you could use it as a long-term strategy. You could use it as leverage to attract employees that value the flexibility of being able to work from home. In any respect, I encourage you to think about what the agility that virtual desktops bring could mean to your business.
At this point, you may be asking yourself, how's a virtual desktop work? Well, instead of your applications and data residing on your desktop or your laptop or on a local area network at the office, they're actually running on a grid of high-performance servers. Those servers are attached to a multi-tier high-performance storage network, all of which is tied together over a high-performance multi-10 gig network backplane, sitting in a secure data center. So as a result, you get high performance, 24/7 monitoring, reliability because of the N+1 architecture, which means you have no single point of failure. Your data is always backed up, it's protected, and it's secure. The data center is connected to the internet through a firewall over multiple high bandwidth connections from multiple telecom providers. Your end devices, whether it's a laptop or a PC or a mobile device, connects to the virtual desktop over an internet connection, which may be wired, may be wireless. Your end device essentially acts as a remote control for the virtual desktop. So your keystrokes and mouse movements are sent to the virtual desktop, and the virtual desktop returns screen images. So in essence, your device is acting just like a dumb terminal connected to a mainframe. So this explains why when we did our speed test within the virtual desktop, we showed an order of magnitude higher throughput than our local internet connection. We were actually using the data center's high bandwidth connection to the internet, not our local. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Virtual Queue's been providing virtual desktops since 2009. We also offer other individual solutions like virtual servers, email, application hosting, backup and recovery, etc. Our most significant service offering is something we call IT as a service, where we integrate all of our service offerings to provide a company with all the IT services they need, essentially outsourcing IT. What this does is it allows us to provide Fortune 500 level IT services for small, predictable, monthly costs that's affordable to small and mid-sized businesses. I want to thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I hope you found it informative. If you have any questions or would like to discuss how we might be able to help your business, give us a call or send us an email. We'd be happy to hear from you.